Grandpa Edward, at the venerable age of 78, had found love once more and decided to marry Lillian, a kind and vibrant woman who had brought joy into his later years. The wedding, a small and intimate affair, was set in a charming garden surrounded by family and close friends. Edward's granddaughter, Emily, stood beside her grandfather, feeling a whirlwind of emotions. She had been the apple of his eye since childhood, and the bond they shared was irreplaceable. As the wedding vows were exchanged, Emily's mind wandered back to all the cherished moments she had spent with him, the bedtime stories, the fishing trips, the endless words of wisdom he had imparted. Lillian, radiating happiness in her elegant dress, looked lovingly at Edward, her eyes sparkling with tears of joy. Despite her excitement, she couldn't help but notice the melancholy that lingered in Emily's eyes. She understood that this change was significant for her new family. As the ceremony concluded, the guests gathered for the reception, enjoying the light-hearted conversations and the delicious feast. Emily watched her grandfather and Lillian dance together, their smiles reflecting genuine happiness. She couldn't help but feel a mix of happiness for him and sadness for the inevitable changes. Later that evening, when the celebrations had quieted down, Emily found a moment alone with Edward. She hugged him tightly, her tears finally flowing freely. "I'm so happy for you, Grandpa, but I can't help feeling like I'm losing a part of you," she confessed. Edward, with his characteristic gentle smile, wiped away her tears. "You're not losing me, my dear. You're gaining someone who loves us both. Lillian is wonderful, and she will be a great addition to our family. Our bond remains unchanged." Emily nodded, comforted by his words. She knew her grandfather's love for her was unwavering. As she looked at Lillian, who was watching them with a warm smile, Emily realized that their family had indeed grown richer. The night ended with a toast to new beginnings and the enduring bonds of family. Emily felt a newfound appreciation for the love that surrounded them and embraced the changes with an open heart. As the guests started to depart, the garden began to empty. The twinkling lights and the soft melodies from the band created a serene and magical atmosphere. Emily took a deep breath, absorbing the beauty of the moment. She walked over to Lillian, who was standing by the fountain, gazing at the reflection of the moon on the water. "Lillian," Emily started softly, "I want you to know that I'm really happy Grandpa found you. You make him so happy." Lillian turned to Emily, her eyes brimming with kindness. "Thank you, Emily. I know how much you mean to him, and I promise to always cherish and respect the bond you two share. I hope we can build our own special connection too." Emily smiled, feeling a warmth spread through her heart. "I'd like that," she replied. The next few days passed in a blur of post-wedding activities. Edward and Lillian prepared for a small honeymoon trip to a cozy cabin by the lake, a place Edward had always loved. Before they left, Edward gathered his family for a small gathering at his home. As they sat around the living room, reminiscing and laughing, Edward stood up to make an announcement. "I want to thank all of you for being here, not just at the wedding but always. Family is everything to me, and I'm so grateful for each of you. This new chapter with Lillian is exciting, and I look forward to all the wonderful moments we'll share together." Emily looked around at her family, her heart swelling with love and gratitude. She saw the way her younger cousins looked up to Edward, the way her aunts and uncles respected him, and the joy in Lillian's eyes as she held Edward's hand. It was a beautiful tapestry of love and connection. As Edward and Lillian departed for their honeymoon, Emily waved them off, feeling a sense of peace she hadn't expected. She knew there would be adjustments, but she also knew that the foundation of love her grandfather had built within their family was unshakable. Days turned into weeks, and Emily found herself visiting Edward and Lillian often. Each visit was filled with laughter, stories, and new memories. She realized that Lillian brought a fresh perspective and vitality to their lives, enriching their family in ways she hadn't anticipated. One afternoon, as Emily sat with Lillian in the garden, they began to share stories about their lives. Lillian spoke of her late husband and the wonderful life they had shared, and Emily recounted her childhood adventures with Edward. They laughed and cried together, finding common ground and mutual respect. From that moment, their relationship blossomed. Emily discovered in Lillian a wise and caring confidant, someone who understood the complexities of love and loss. Their bond grew stronger, rooted in mutual respect and love for Edward. Years later, as Emily looked back on that time, she marveled at how seamlessly Lillian had become an integral part of their family. The wedding, which had once felt like a farewell to a chapter of her life, turned out to be the beginning of a beautiful new journey. Edward and Lillian's love story continued to inspire and teach Emily about the endless capacity for love and the importance of embracing change with an open heart. Their union had indeed enriched their lives, creating a legacy of love that would be cherished for generations to come. Elaine was sitting in the local cafe, watching the rain gently fall outside. Her thoughts were still on Daniel and how much she had missed him over the years. Just when she was lost in her reflections, she heard the familiar sound of the doorbell and looked up to see who had entered. Daniel, now a man of even more striking presence, walked into the cafe. His gaze met Elaine's immediately, and for a moment, time seemed to stand still. Elaine felt her heart race, and a whirlwind of emotions swept over her. He approached slowly, a shy smile on his lips. "Elaine?" he asked, his voice filled with hope and uncertainty. "Right here, Daniel," she responded, her voice a mix of surprise and warmth. They stood there for a moment, just taking each other in. The years had changed them both, but the connection they once had was still palpable. Daniel pulled out a chair and sat down, his eyes never leaving hers. "It's been so long," he said, his voice soft. "I've thought about you often." Elaine smiled, feeling a warmth spread through her chest. "I've thought about you too, Daniel. Life took us in different directions, but here we are." They spent hours talking, catching up on the years they had missed. Daniel spoke about his adventures, his successes, and his struggles. Elaine shared her own stories, her triumphs, and the challenges she had faced. It was as if no time had passed, and they were once again the close friends they had always been. As the rain continued to fall outside, Elaine and Daniel found themselves slipping back into the comfortable companionship they had once known. The cafe, with its cozy atmosphere and the sound of rain tapping on the windows, became their little haven, a place where they could reconnect and rebuild their friendship. The day turned into evening, and the cafe began to empty out. They knew they had to part ways for now, but both felt a sense of renewal and hope. They exchanged phone numbers and promised to stay in touch, both knowing that this was just the beginning of their reunion. As Elaine walked home, she couldn't help but smile. The past was behind them, but the future was wide open, filled with possibilities. She felt a sense of excitement and anticipation for what was to come, knowing that Daniel was once again a part of her life. Over the next few weeks, Elaine and Daniel began to see each other regularly. They met for coffee, took long walks in the park, and even went to a few concerts together, rekindling their old love for music. Each meeting brought them closer, deepening their bond and uncovering the layers of their past and present selves. One evening, as they strolled along the riverside, Daniel turned to Elaine with a serious expression. "I've been thinking a lot about us," he said, "about what we had and what we could have." Elaine felt her heart skip a beat. "What do you mean?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Daniel stopped walking and looked deeply into her eyes. "I've never stopped caring about you, Elaine. Our time apart made me realize how special you are to me. I don't want to lose you again." Elaine was taken aback by his honesty, but she felt the same way. The years had done nothing to diminish her feelings for him. If anything, they had only grown stronger. "I feel the same way, Daniel," she confessed. "I think we owe it to ourselves to see where this could go." With a smile that lit up his face, Daniel took her hand. "Let's take it one step at a time, then. No rush, just us rediscovering what we have." Their relationship blossomed as they spent more time together. They laughed, shared stories, and supported each other through life's ups and downs. Daniel's presence brought a new sense of joy and comfort to Elaine's life, and she found herself falling for him all over again. One weekend, they decided to take a trip to the countryside, a place they had often talked about visiting when they were younger. The serene landscape and fresh air provided the perfect backdrop for their growing affection. They hiked through lush forests, had picnics by the lake, and spent their evenings by a cozy fireplace, talking late into the night. On the last day of their trip, as they watched the sunset from a hilltop, Daniel turned to Aline with a look of determination. "Aline, there's something I've been wanting to say," he began, his voice filled with emotion. Aline's heart raced as she looked into his eyes. "What is it, Daniel?" He took a deep breath and continued, "I love you, Aline. I always have. These past few weeks have made me realize that you're the one I've been searching for all my life. I don't want to imagine a future without you." Tears welled up in Aline's eyes as she felt a wave of happiness wash over her. "I love you too, Daniel," she replied, her voice trembling with emotion. "I never stopped loving you." With those words, they embraced, sealing their newfound commitment to each other with a tender kiss. The future, once uncertain, now seemed bright and full of promise. Together, they were ready to face whatever came their way, knowing that their love was stronger than ever. Back in the city, Aline and Daniel began to make plans for their future. They moved in together, their shared apartment becoming a sanctuary filled with love and laughter. They continued to support each other's dreams and ambitions, celebrating each milestone and facing challenges hand in hand. Daniel, inspired by Aline's unwavering belief in him, pursued a new career path that brought him fulfillment and joy. Aline, with Daniel's encouragement, started a blog about their adventures and the lessons they had learned from their journey. Together, their bond grew deeper with each passing day, their love a testament to the power of second chances. One evening, as they sat on their balcony, watching the city lights twinkle below, Daniel turned to Aline with a thoughtful expression. "You know, I used to think that life was about achieving big goals and making a name for myself," he said. "But now, I realize that the most important thing is having someone to share it all with." Aline smiled, squeezing his hand. "I feel the same way, Daniel. You've made my life so much richer and more meaningful. I can't imagine it without you." As they sat there, wrapped in each other's arms, they knew that they had found something truly special. Their journey, filled with twists and turns, had brought them back to each other, stronger and more in love than ever. Together, they looked forward to a future filled with endless possibilities, knowing that as long as they had each other, anything was possible. As seasons changed, Aline and Daniel's love continued to blossom like the flowers in spring. Their bond grew deeper with each passing day, grounded in mutual respect, unwavering support, and a shared sense of adventure. One crisp autumn evening, Daniel suggested they take a stroll through the city park where they first reconnected. The air was crisp, carrying the scent of fallen leaves and the promise of change. As they walked hand in hand along the familiar path, Daniel's heart raced with anticipation. "Aline," he began, his voice steady yet tinged with nervous excitement. "There's something I've been meaning to ask you." Aline looked at him, her eyes filled with curiosity and love. She sensed the moment was coming, a turning point in their journey together. Daniel paused, taking a deep breath as he knelt before her, his eyes locked with hers. "Will you marry me, Aline?" he asked, a shimmer of hope and devotion in his voice. Aline's heart soared with joy, tears of happiness welling in her eyes as she gazed at the man who had rekindled her spirit and filled her life with such love. Without hesitation, she nodded, unable to find her voice amidst the overwhelming rush of emotions. Daniel slipped a delicate ring onto her finger, a symbol of their enduring love and the promise of a future together. They embraced, laughter mingling with tears of pure happiness under the canopy of autumn leaves. As they shared the news with their families and friends, the air buzzed with excitement and heartfelt congratulations. Aline and Daniel began planning their wedding, weaving together their dreams and creating memories that would last a lifetime. On a bright spring day, surrounded by loved ones and the fragrance of fresh blossoms, Aline and Daniel exchanged vows. With each promise spoken, they reaffirmed their commitment to journey through life together, hand in hand. The reception was filled with laughter, music, and heartfelt speeches celebrating their love story. Aline danced with Daniel under the twinkling lights, feeling as though they were floating on air, their hearts beating in perfect harmony. Their honeymoon took them to a secluded beach where they reveled in the joy of simply being together. They walked along the shore, hand in hand, sharing dreams of the future and relishing the beauty of the present moment. Years passed, marked by shared adventures, quiet moments of reflection, and the joys of building a family. Aline and Daniel's love continued to deepen, weathering life's challenges with grace and resilience. Together, they embraced the gift of each day, grateful for the love that had brought them together and the bond that held them close. Their story, woven with threads of love, faith, and unwavering devotion, became a beacon of hope and inspiration to all who knew them. And as they grew old together, Aline and Daniel found solace in the memories they had created, knowing that their love had indeed come full circle, a testament to the power of love's enduring promise. As seasons changed, Aline and Daniel's love continued to blossom like the flowers in spring. Their bond grew deeper with each passing day, grounded in mutual respect, unwavering support, and a shared sense of adventure. Daniel's proposal in the park marked the beginning of an exciting new chapter in their lives. As they embarked on the journey of planning their wedding, they found themselves immersed in a whirlwind of joyous anticipation. Aline poured her heart into every detail, from choosing the perfect venue adorned with blooming gardens to selecting the most exquisite gown that made her feel like a princess. Their families and friends rejoiced with them, eagerly offering their help and showering them with love. Together, they created a celebration that reflected not only their love for each other but also their appreciation for those who had supported them along the way. On a radiant spring day, under a canopy of blossoms and surrounded by loved ones, Aline and Daniel exchanged heartfelt vows. Their promises to love, honor, and cherish each other resonated with a profound sense of commitment and joy. As they sealed their union with a kiss, the world seemed to pause, allowing them to savor the magic of the moment. The reception that followed was a testament to their shared happiness. Laughter filled the air as friends and family toasted to their love, recounting cherished memories and offering warm wishes for their future together. Aline and Daniel danced the night away, their hearts overflowing with gratitude and excitement for the adventures that lay ahead. Their honeymoon took them to a secluded paradise, where azure waters and golden sands provided the backdrop for moments of pure bliss. They explored hidden coves hand in hand, savoring the freedom of being together away from the demands of everyday life. Each sunrise brought with it a new sense of wonder and possibility, reinforcing their deep connection and reaffirming their dreams for the future. Back home, Aline and Daniel settled into married life with a sense of contentment and purpose. They turned their shared apartment into a haven filled with laughter, warmth, and the comforting aroma of home-cooked meals. Together, they navigated the joys and challenges of merging their lives, supporting each other's ambitions and celebrating their individual strengths. As the years passed, their love continued to evolve, enriched by the shared experiences that shaped their journey. They welcomed moments of spontaneity, from impromptu road trips to quiet evenings spent stargazing on their balcony. Through it all, their bond remained steadfast, a source of strength and solace during times of uncertainty. Aline pursued her passion for photography, capturing the beauty of everyday moments and the warmth of family gatherings. Her work not only brought her fulfillment but also served as a reflection of the love that filled their home. Daniel thrived in his career, fueled by Aline's unwavering support and inspired by her creative spirit. Together, they embraced new opportunities and celebrated each other's successes with boundless pride. Their love story became a beacon of hope and inspiration to those around them, a testament to the enduring power of love and the beauty of a partnership built on trust and mutual respect. They found joy in simple pleasures, from morning walks in the park to cozy evenings curled up by the fireplace with a good book. As they celebrated milestones together, anniversaries, birthdays, and the arrival of cherished nieces and nephews, their hearts swelled with gratitude for the life they had created. Aline and Daniel's home became a gathering place for loved ones, where laughter echoed off the walls and memories were woven into the fabric of their lives. With each passing year, their love deepened, anchored by a shared sense of purpose and a commitment to nurturing their relationship. They faced challenges with courage and resilience, drawing strength from their unwavering faith in each other. Aline and Daniel's love was a testament to the power of patience, forgiveness, and the belief that together, they could weather any storm. As they looked back on their journey, the highs and the lows, the laughter and tears, they knew they had found their greatest treasure in each other. Their love had grown stronger with time, a reflection of the deep-rooted bond that had blossomed into a lifelong partnership. And as they grew old together, Aline and Daniel found solace in the memories they had created, knowing that their love had indeed come